Lieutenant Colonel Laurie Robertson, and thanks, Laurie, for agreeing to answer some questions for us. Laurie's a great man of God and a great leader in the Salvation Army, and I thought it would be really helpful for us to pick up some good leadership lessons from Laurie. Just a quick intro, Laurie. What's your role currently in the Salvation Army?
Territorial Program Secretary, which means I'm responsible for core and social programs.
Wow, big job.
Keeps me off the streets, but then it doesn't actually, because I do go and visit people.
True. Yeah. Thinking back over years of leadership, what's one of the most valuable leadership lessons that you've learned, and how has it changed the way that you lead now?
The investing in people. When I discovered that to lead you need to invest in people, and then I discovered ways of doing that, and that instead of me then just telling people what they should do, invest in them, help them to grow and develop, and even treating people differently. Like there are some people who are inexperienced beginners, so the investment in them is different to what you do with someone who's at the other end, who's capable, competent, knows what they're doing. You invest in them in different ways, and so learning even the different ways, and that's what really changed the way I did it. And one of the key books for me on that was Leadership and the 1 Minute Manager.
When you're looking to build a team around you, raise up those people as you're mentioning, raise them up, what's one of the valuable qualities that you look for in someone?
Character. To have great Christian character. And people who are Holy Spirit inspired. That, to me, the character is more important than the skill set. The skill set's important, but if they don't have the right character, if they're not wanting to be God's person, then it's a much more difficult road to travel.
I imagine, Laurie, that in the last 20, 30 years you've had at times a bit of a juggling act of, you've got family and wife, kids.
Yeah, 2 children, both married now, a couple of grandkids.
You talked about study.
That makes me really old, of course.
And obviously, like the ministry positions that you've held, how do you maintain a good balance in that, in the big mix of things, in the day to day? What's some things that you've been able to?
Yep. With a great lot of difficulty, because I tend to view what I'm doing as my whole life, and that's where a call to officership means that I don't see that part of my life is the job and that part of my life is me as an officer. So that always blurs the lines then. And one of the best decisions I made was to marry Simone, who keeps me in line at times on these things, because we talk about it. And that's the challenge. As a married couple, if you don't communicate how you're really going, and if you feel the other one's not giving you enough time, or you're not getting together enough, well, obviously it's not going to work, and there'll be tensions. So, for me, one of the key areas of keeping the balance is communication with my wife. And when the kids were younger, obviously they would let me know sometimes, well, I haven't seen you much, Dad. Now that's a reactive response rather than a proactive response. The proactive things are that I do make sure that when I'm home, that I am home for the family for a period of time, and so that they make sure that we're there. We used to, with the kids, we'd set up date days occasionally, so as an individual I'd go out with one of the kids, and Simone would do another one, and so that would happen occasionally to help that get in there. The other thing is trying to make sure that you remember that you're not defined by your particular work position. You're defined by who God has made you to be, and to make sure you use all those gifts, including the responsibilities for your family or for your friends or whoever it is.
That's such good encouragement. Thanks, Laurie. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, Nate.
Awesome.